He was hey, yo, hey.
What up? It is Wednesday. What date is it? There you go. I lost you, Alex.
June 9th. It's Wednesday, June 9th.
Damn, I lost Alex already. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
I'm right here. Can't hear me?
Being retarded already.
Can't hear me?
It was fine all day today. Internet was fine all day. And now I want to be. So it's Wednesday, the 9th of June. Alex keeps going in and out. He looks like he's freezing. I might have to tether this motherfucker because the internet seemed to be working fine. Let me. This is so aggravating with the internet. We're having problems with Cox. My internet worked all day today. They're having issues outside. Yeah, I can hear you. They're having issues outside. They said they fixed it, and then now they're saying that there's a maintenance issue that they got to send out. So
where you're at? Where
I'm at.
Okay. Yeah. And you know what? That's been going on for the past like 2 weeks. I don't. It's really weird because I don't know. Like my internet went out about a week and a half ago. And like from like midnight to like 2 a.m. and it was really weird. Like I was on my phone, on my iPad. You know, I have my PS4, which is I run everything off of and stuff. So I'm trying to do all my stuff, and everything just shut off. So I went downstairs. I reset my box.
Right.
It was them because I shut my internet off and still tried it, and obviously. I was like, okay, it started working, but I was like, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna give Apple any more money than they deserve to get. So, but I still continued to do that, and then I just kept checking it like on my iPad, kept refreshing it, and but I don't know, I don't know what something's catching up to the world, man. I believe that. I'm real superstitious.
I don't know. Like I said, it was the internet has been working fine all day today. But there's definitely a problem outside, and they submitted a ticket. But my internet worked all day today. I worked from home, so it worked all day.
Like and you're kind of foggy right now, but I can hear you fine.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it stopped working, and then I'll check here periodically, see if the home internet is working again. Because, like I said, it was all day. And all of a sudden, this motherfucker wants to
get it together, Xfinity or
I got caught.
Or whoever you're dealing with. Yeah, see, you're froze now, and I can't hear nothing. But Mother Nature, it's Mother Nature. Really slow.
Sorry, yeah. For whatever reason, it went from my phone to back to the house internet, and I don't know why.
This is the slowest I've ever seen the internet working while we're doing the show. This is like like thunderstorm
it's
interference type shit, like difficulty. I don't know, but
I don't know. Oh no, Tori is a little. Tori's way under the weather today, so that's the reason why she's not on the show today. So today,
Tori, get better.
Get better. She'll be better in a couple days. So today we're going to be talking about the Mike Tyson documentary, the knockout that was on ABC.
Right.
But let's get into the show. So yesterday, Clarence Williams III from the Mob Squad. Not a lot of people don't know who that is, but of course I know who he is.
Oh yeah.
He played a lot of creepy parts. He was from the Mob Squad, but I think everybody knows him from when he was Samson in Half Baked, right? So I'll play a little bit of that. Yeah, that was a great.
Did you get my message? Who is this? This is Samson, Smarty Pants.
Operated an emergency breakthrough from your sister.
Samson and Sheila. Mama felt. Shut up, bitch. You tell Mr. Nice Guy to get you to make your ass over to my place at 3 o'clock tomorrow. You don't want me to get ugly.
No, sir.
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell him.
Such a great part that he played in that movie. But he passed. I think I didn't read why he passed, but he was 81, so he was an old guy. But great, that was a great movie, man.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to look it up. Was he or was he not in the movie Tales from the Dark Side?
He was.
Or Tales from the Hood. Tales from the Hood. I'm sorry. Okay. That's where I first seen him on HBO at my friend's house. We used to love
watching that shit.
Love Tales from the Crypt, man. That shit was so classic, and I'm gonna have to fiddle with something like that. We're gonna have to do something like that for during Halloween, during October or something like that, because I'm very nostalgic, and people need to be reminded that was Tales from the Crypt was so classic, man. Like, oh my god. But then, it was so classic that like 5 years later, it felt like something like that. There was Joe Torre that was in it from Poetic Justice, and and like I said, like you said, Clarence Williams was in there, but I think he played the devil or something like that, or the Crypt Keeper or whatever. So he was just and that's when I first seen him, and I was like, damn, who is this guy? He just had such a strong presence during that film and stuff like that. So, but yeah, rest in peace, man. But and it's funny, I came across that. I seen Half Baked was on there, and I was like, oh man. I'm gonna have to watch that one. I was gonna watch it the other day, and you got to be in a goofy mood to watch that. So,
or high,
or high, yeah. And
so I played a little bagpipe for him. So rest in peace.
Yeah, William. For sure, man. Rest in peace to a legendary actor.
Yeah,
did it for years. Especially Mod Squad. I mean, that's before my time. I don't know if you were familiar with that and if you watched that. Was it that popular back then?
Yeah, it was in the 70s.
Was it really? Wow. Okay, so that was kind of like the like Starsky and Hutch, like.
Yeah, it was kind of.
Was that the Lethal Weapon before it was Lethal Weapon movie?
No, it was like Charlie's Angels. It was 3 guys.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 3 people that it was like Charlie's Angels.
Okay.
It was pretty. Right. It wasn't my thing, but I remember seeing it. And then they made a Mob Squad in the 90s. They redid.
Right. And you know what? And I know this wasn't my movie. But like this is one of your favorite movies. He was in Purple Rain. I remember that.
Who's that?
He was in Purple Rain. He had a small part in Purple Rain.
Clarence?
Yeah.
Really? What part was he in?
I don't know what part it is, but I did. I looked up the movies he was in, and it says that he was in Purple Rain.
What was his character?
It doesn't say. It just says he also appeared in films such as Purple Rain, 52 Pickup, Tales from the Hood, Half Baked, and Reindeer Games. So I don't know what is. I'll look it up though, real quick. But I was like, damn, I just remember, you remember certain people, certain actors or actresses' faces from the 80s. Like I remember so many actors and actresses, and I could name some. I mean, obviously everybody knew who that was before me, but like Diane Lane, like actors, obviously like Charlie Sheen were in movies like Lucas and just all, you know what I mean? Like there was so many actors that were in so many things. What's the name? Geez, I can't even think of it. Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, golly, he was in so much stuff in the 80s. Just like his career in the 80s, his resume in the 80s blows away anybody's career in the last 30 years. Like,
right.
It's crazy. But no, so I'll check. I'll look for it later. But I could have swore that it says he's in there. I don't remember. Might have been in the background or something like that. But yeah, rest in peace for sure, man. and I forgot that he was in a Mod Squad. I actually went to the theater. I went on a date to see that movie, so I totally forgot that he was even in that one. But I remember he was in this.
I'm gonna jump off. It looks like the internet's back on, so give me a second here.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna jump off. You can keep talking.
Okay. So I don't know if he's off or not, but I guess I will. Oh, there you go. Oh,
yep,
two of you. Oh, two of you. There's two of you. Hold on, let me screenshot.
Yeah, two of them.
You're doing a Steve Urkel on me. Oh my goodness. You're doing a Stefan Urkel on me, man. What are you doing?
Right.
I just got through watching Family Matters last week. I just finished all 9 seasons.
Really?
Like
There was
crazy, man.
There was
yes,
9?
I did. Yes, I didn't even realize that. I was like, what? And I always got to finish something like, when I started, but.
Fucking Steve Urkel.
Yeah, I mean, he was Bruce Lee. He was Stefan Urkel. He was Steve Urkel. He was, God, who else was he? I forgot. It was so funny, though, when he played Bruce Lee, man.
Yeah, Bruce Lee.
And you know what's crazy about that show? The mother. That show, I didn't know. That show was a spinoff from Perfect Strangers. Because the mother Harriet, the original mother Harriet,
right,
that played all the way through the 8 seasons. I forgot her name.
I didn't know that.
And I want to give her some respect, so I want to look it up. But
look it up.
But she was on there. She was on Perfect Strangers, and I don't remember being on there, but they did a spinoff of her.
I don't remember that.
And the show was supposed to be about her. Her name was Jo Mary Payton, and so it was supposed to be a spinoff about her. Mm-hmm. And then in the 12th episode, that's when they introduced Jaleel White, played Steve Urkel, and they got so much crazy feedback. And this is what these are the things that just really blow my mind. And it's just like the world we live in today with the social media, all that good stuff. Right. It's like, man, everybody had to do everything by phone or mail back in the day, and for that to blow up because he came on the show, and I'm pretty sure it was the first show he was on,
right?
And he was talking about like, oh, I got all this. Like he thought that Rachel, who was one of the I forgot. My mother told me she was like one of the she was a singer, backup dancer for I can't remember for somebody in the Motown, whatever, but.
Right,
but it was just crazy that show blew up because of him. So they decided to put the show on his back, and then she left at like the last year, like the last 9 episodes. She been wanting to leave and all that. So she was like, and I read an interview. She was like, I was never jealous, nothing like that. We made the show work. Like that was like we're still getting residuals, to this day. So like, why would I, it was okay. I was just told differently. So that was it. But just the way shows and everything was produced and just done back then, man, and it was just so family orientated, and it's just like so cheesy, but it was like, but it's like, you know what, like, golly, that's what we need nowadays. That's what we need now. It's so cheesy, but it'll wake you up because everything else is so damn cheesy and and so just like cringy when it comes to social media and all that shit. So yeah, I just thought that was crazy, man. Like watching a lot of old school shows and stuff, just the things they were able to say, and the shows they were doing on drugs and right. gay pride and stuff like that. It's just, man, so crazy to watch that back in the back in the day.
All right, so
reruns.
A rerun or reruns?
No, just watching reruns.
Oh, okay.
Oh, not rerun. Oh, no. That's your era.
The FDA approves the first Alzheimer disease drugs in nearly 20 years. This is kind of a big step because they have not approved
That's
drug.
a sign right there. They just said, wait. That's
a
sign.
That's wait. That was a damn fucking commercial.
They're like, wait, don't approve that.
They approved the first.
Finally, the array of hope for people suffering from Alzheimer's. The FDA today approving a controversial new treatment for people in the earliest stages of the devastating disease. It is the first Alzheimer's drug approved in 20 years.
Wow.
But serious questions are being raised about the drug's effectiveness. CNN senior medical correspondent Elizabeth Cohen joins us now. So why are there questions over whether this drug actually works, and yet it's already approved now by the FDA?
Yeah.
Right. So, Anna, when you hear about a new drug for Alzheimer's, there's such hope, right? Everybody knows someone with Alzheimer's. It's a terrible, terrible, destructive disease. And so the hope is, my loved one can take this drug and I will get them back again. That is not what this drug is. Let's be clear. It is for use in very, very early stages of Alzheimer's. Even the researchers themselves have said, if I had an advanced stage patient, I would not give this drug to them. So let's look at how this drug did, even in early stage patients, because there's controversy there as well. There was a study that was done that said it didn't work, that it had no effectiveness. And then there was another study that showed that it led to a 22%.
So you got to love the FDA, 0% and then 22%.
So let me ask you a question before I lose this out of my mind.
Okay, out of your mind.
Do you think that because of like them finally getting the vaccinations out and everything's at least in the public's mind, everything seems to be running smoothly so far, and everybody's slowly but surely getting vaccinated. Do you think that they're now starting to try to like pump these, like pump that, you know what I'm saying, like get that out now, and just like so like people can be like, okay, well, I got the vaccination, let me get this, do you think there's anything to that, or is it just like we should get this and it's safe, it's okay, or you know what I mean? Like,
it's really hard to tell, man. I'm not a doctor, but you got FDA saying that it's 0%, and then you got 22%. If I have a family member that has Alzheimer's,
right? Essentially, if you needed it, is what I meant. Right.
I probably would. They said it helps with the beginning stages, so if it can help a family member in the beginning, right. So if it doesn't, then it doesn't. Yeah, but I think a lot of these medications or whatever they're giving them, it's difficult when you have a family member that forgets shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then
you don't know who you are. I have a couple of those in my family, and so
it's tough. It's tough. So,
and I don't know what they go through on a daily basis. I don't, but just going through what like was gonna be necessary if my father would have came home when he was sick and dealing with all just the small little like medication that he needed, which was not a small dose. It was like 6 different pills, and then first it was like 3, and then it was like 4, and then 5 and 6, and then we're like, oh my god, like it was just too much. So I can't imagine what people like that go through, families like that deal with, and everything. And I hope when I seen that, I was like, I was happy when you sent the link and I'd seen that, because I watched, like I said, you know, we talked off air a minute ago. I watched a lot of like 80s and 90s old school, you know, family shows and stuff. And I watched a lot of these episodes where they talk about, you know, drug use, Alzheimer's, dementia, and this and that. And people are, you know, it is funny. Well, it's not funny, but some of the episodes on, like, whether it be 90210 or Family Matters or Who's the Boss or something, they always have a character that goes and has to take care of somebody in an old folks home, and they don't want to do it. Like, for instance, the blonde haired guy, wasn't it Steve? He was a rich boy, whatever, all rich on 90210. But the blonde haired guy, he had to go. I watched the episode. He had to take care of an old man. It was community service, and he didn't want to. You know, he didn't want to do it, and it ended up being like a legendary comedian. Godly, I know his name, but it slipped my mind. But you know, it's just, I watched episodes like that, and I'm just like, and they're so they're so touching and just so heartwarming, man. It's like you forget about the things like that and everything. And like, I just took a walk earlier to the store. You know, sometimes I walk, whether I can drive or not. Sometimes I take a walk, and I pass by. There's an old couple, and they always, you know, we always say hi and greet each other and stuff like that. And and it's just little things like that I'm just like, you know, I feel good about when I walk by and I do greet them and say hi, how you doing, and everything, and have a simple conversation. But yeah, the Alzheimer's, and it's really, in dementia, it's so sad to see stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, like I said, I'm a cancer, I'm an emotional guy, I'm a crybaby, whatever. But I watch those shows, man, even to this day, and they're 20, 30-year-old shows. I start getting teary-eyed, and I'm like, oh my God. Because my mother is 76 years old, and she's in great health and great condition. She is a little forgetful, but she is, nonetheless, she's in great shape. And, you know, she is, you know, she's really healthy for her age, and I appreciate that. So I'm all for anything like this, and I hope it works out, you know, for many families, man, because it is a big deal. It has been a big deal for many years. So this is one that I took to the heart. One you know, topic that I took to the heart. So yeah. So
yesterday, or actually Sunday, was the 77th anniversary of D-Day. The White House got in. Well, they just basically said snubbed the memory, and there was a lot of World War II vets that were upset about it. And I know D-Day was so long ago. Nobody, you know, most of these people are definitely World War II guys are gone.
Right.
There's still a lot of guys left, but it was the anniversary, the 77th anniversary.
Man, look at that footage, man. That footage is so chilling, man.
Maneuvers in England. This becomes reality. That long-promised day of D-Day.
77 years ago yesterday, June 6th, 1944, tens of thousands of Allied troops turned the tide of World War II, bravely storming the beaches of Normandy. Thousands of American troops died that day. While Presidents George W. Bush, Obama, and Trump all acknowledged the D-Day anniversary in their first year in office, President Biden failed to even mention it this weekend, tweeting instead about the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. Vice President Harris did. She mentioned D-Day in a tweet. Now, our own Jillian Turner spoke with a veteran who said, quote, "As a veteran, I find it reprehensible that the president ends his speeches with God bless the troops, which now seems to be in words only. He blatantly forgot to acknowledge the tremendous sacrifice of our greatest generation." Governor Huckabee, your thoughts?
What happened on June 6th of 1944 is one of the most powerful events in human history. And these very young guys, most of whom were 18, 19 years old, many of them knew full well they weren't going to live through the day. And 2,500 of them didn't. First of all, it's inconceivable that the president or his staff could be unaware that this was the anniversary.
So, I don't think any president is perfect. Biden recognized. I know you probably, it's probably a big blooper, but he probably could have recognized. But, you make an apology, say, hey, you know what, I forgot. Whatever.
You know what? Donald Trump fans, Donald Trump alumni, man, they are eating this shit up big time. There's probably some women and like even men that just dropped down on their knees and were like, thank you. And for once in their life, they were thanking Jesus, even though they're the devil.
Right.
And that's the only time they wanted to ever thank Jesus, man. I you know what? I read a couple articles.
Right.
And I was like, I looked at it from two sides. Okay. I looked at it from my side and I was like, okay, what you just said. I was like, he made a mistake. I guess. I mean, like, how can you? But then again, I was like, I questioned myself. How can you undermine something like that? And you just became the president after going through what you went through, and we're still going through.
Right.
I don't, man. That's a black eye. That's a half a black eye right there for him, as far as I'm concerned. Then I looked at it from everybody's general perspective, and I was like, he's just, I mean, like they're looking at him like he's just evil now, probably. It's just as simple as that, man. Like, how could, like, I mean, and then so, like, I mean, this kind of, like, tripped me out. I didn't really know what to think, and I'm not a political guy, but so my third and final thing on this is this. Maybe he had something. I mean, like, do you think it's personal? I'll ask you. I'll jump back.
No, I don't think
do you think it's something personal?
No, I don't
like
think it was
history throughout his family for him not to say this because of something personally that happened throughout his, not his life, but maybe his father's, his mother's history. I don't know.
I just don't.
For you to not to acknowledge that is.
I think
pretty crazy. Is he that busy?
I don't. Hey, I don't know. I'm just saying. I think he probably. And you're right. The right's gonna roast him. Like, how the fuck are you gonna do that?
Oh man, they were waiting for something like this. Are you kidding me?
Well, we'll wait till September 11th if he's got to acknowledge 9/11.
And if Donald Trump decides to run and he tries to come back in office, he's gonna use this shit. This is his lifesaver. If you're a Star Wars fan, this is gonna be his lifesaver right here, man. So yeah, I guess stay tuned. I don't know, but I was like, this is gonna stick with him through his whole presidency. That's all I was trying to get at, really, basically. So he planted the flag for everybody to talk shit to him, to have a reason to talk down to him, and always throw a dart at him when need be or when they just feel like it. So I don't know why you would acknowledge something like that, man. That's crazy. And you let your vice president do it. I mean, that's a bad. That looks pretty bad. So I don't know, man. We'll see. But
all right. So more things. And I wish I had a teacher. I would call my aunt because she was a principal,
right,
at some of the public schools. So Biden wants to fix the nation's teacher shortage. Educators say the problem is worsening. I think my aunt made a comment the other day. I posted this article. She says that they just need more income. They need to give a salary increase.
That's been for so long.
I don't know why there's a problem with not paying these teachers. They deserve it. I know one thing. I had a conversation with a lot of parents, even with the ex-wife.
Right.
With the kids being out and doing the distant learning. Man, you have rocket science to teach these kids. Like, if I didn't have like a tutor for my daughter and all that shit, I'm like, man, these teachers are doing They do so much.
Right. And I think people get caught up in like they're teaching just my kid. They forget they're teaching hundreds of other kids.
Right.
Like it's not just your child. And that's where like the problems kind of start. I don't know. I texted my daughter actually yesterday and I said, "How's everything going with your schoolwork and etc." And she was like everything's going good, Dad. She was I just finished. She said, say it again.
How much longer they got?
Oh, she said I just finished all my work today. I just finished everything. And I was
they're
like,
done with school now?
Yeah, so she's done. I said good. Like I don't have to check on my daughter, but I still do. Like and I'm so happy for that, man, because golly, I worry so much, and not that they're gonna be like me or nothing, but I was bad with doing homework, and stuff like that, keeping up with my homework, and that's really all it came down to was doing your homework.
I never had a problem. I just paid somebody to do it.
or you had a girl, your girlfriend.
I had a girl do it.
I had a lot of that. My Spanish homework.
I had a lot of girls.
My Spanish homework. Oh man, you know what? I know we don't say names on here, but you know what? Shout out to Marisol.
Marisol.
1995, family owned a taqueria Tapatio over here in Southwest Detroit. She showed all my friends so much love every time we went in there, and she pretty much taught me how to dance. Mexican music and pretty much did all my Spanish homework. So
shake your little ass.
Much love. I still got love for you, money. So
love. Married now, right? Bunch of kids.
I believe so. Yeah.
He said, yeah. Yeah. So, let's get some teachers. Let's give them more money.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, like. And you know what? After something should have been done after I know there was a plethora of school shootings and everything going back to the Columbine. I mean, after that, you would have thought that these teachers would be taken care of. But it's I don't know. We just need to once again take better care of our people, the people that are put in position and to take care of us in the city and take care of our kids. And for sure, man, they need the raises, not the McDonald's and Burger King workers. I mean, they might need a raise, but the teachers need the raises first.
Right.
We don't want our kids working at McDonald's and Burger King.
Right.
No disrespect to anybody that does, but we don't. That's not the goal in our. And that should not be the goal in anybody's child's life. So, yes, I hope everything works out with that, and I'm all for that, man, for sure.
So, Meghan and them welcome.
Chase first bacon.
There you go. Chase first bacon.
Oh,
Meghan
give me some money.
And Harry welcomed their baby girl named Honor Queen Elizabeth, Princess Diana. So, I guess they
had the baby.
Yeah, they had the baby. You call her Little Diana.
That's awesome. I'm really missing Tori now because I know she would love to talk about this.
Very loyal and sources and friends who are loyal. That there were problems looming. Meghan and Harry were proposing.
She was a bitch when she was younger.
Commercial activities, which is strictly forbidden to royals. But Meghan.
So they named her Little Diana.
That's so. What's the first name? Little?
No, just
Diana. I was about to say, oh my God, they didn't do the warrior thing. He changed his name to Warrior. Oh my God. That's awesome. The baby was born weighing in at 7 pounds, 11 ounces. And both mother and child are healthy and settling at home, the spokesperson said in a statement. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. We talked a lot about them, and everything we talked about them was just so negative. And for them to finally have a baby and be settled in together and all that, I'm sure their perspective on everything in life and everything has changed a little bit, even more for the better. So I'm happy for the man. Congratulations. And yeah, he's a lucky man. Meghan Markle is a freaking, she's a gem. She is definitely a diamond in the rough, man. Drop dead beautiful.
Diamond in the rough.
In my opinion. But yeah, that's awesome. So congratulations to them.
So
if they break up,
I'm available.
Yeah, just like you and J-Lo, same thing, man. We'll double date or something.
J-Lo,
maybe we can work on some.
I'm just hitting J-Lo. That's it.
Damn, I'm send her back to Ben. Yeah. Okay, all right, send her back to Batman. Okay. Yeah. No, that's cool. That's awesome, though, man. I'm happy for them.
As you talked about that, I wonder if when they did see each other, and I'm pretty sure they're fucking. I wonder if like he's in bed, playing with her, saying, they're, playing, role playing.
Right. I'd be like, you ain't no Wonder Woman, but no, I'm just playing.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. And he's like, call me Batman. Yeah.
right. Doing Michael Keaton's line. What the fuck?
Yeah. And then
hey, look, nobody said better than him back in '89. He was like, "Who are you?" He was like, "I'm Batman." I mean, nobody did that shit better.
No, but it's funny. I wonder if they're in bed.
Right. No, I hear you.
And then she's like, Bane, no one cared who I was until I put the mask on.
Or she's just laughing like the Joker and shit when he fell into the fucking straight light. I don't know, but
so have you ever role? Did you ever role play with a chick?
I never did nothing like that, man.
No,
there's some freaky shit before, but I never did nothing. Put no costume on or nothing like that. I think. Let me see. Hold on, wait.
Yeah,
I think I might. I don't want to say the name or say if it was my ex-girlfriend or my ex-wife, but she wore something on her head that I liked, that I thought was hot and stuff like that. Why we did it, what we did. So, yeah, why we did what we did, when we were doing it.
You guys do.
So, it was just something simple. Just, No, like I said, I don't want to say if it was my ex-wife or my ex-girlfriend or anybody like that. Name no names, but it was like the bunny ears or something like that. I can't remember. It was a couple things. It was a few things. So it was simple. I can't get into all that costume shit and dressing up and all that shit. Man, by the time I do all that shit, I'm gonna be like, man, I want to lay down and go to bed. Put all this shit on to take it off, man. So
you never had her dress up like a nurse and check your.
No, I mean like when we dressed up for Halloween and stuff like that. We would come home and
in the bedroom.
Oh no, I never really got that deep into that. I never really did.
No. That is funny, man.
Like I said, I've had with obviously with my ex-wife, we did certain things and stuff like that. But as far as character playing and role playing, never really got into that like that. But
no, you guys never.
Yeah, maybe.
Never put you never put like Care Bear outfits and fucked each other or anything.
Right? No. Like she was SpongeBob, I was fucking Patrick, and some shit like that. No. I just never. I don't know, man. I'm just like, I don't mind stuff like that, but it's like, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just so goddamn horny. I just want to get into it and get it done. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. There's.
I don't know. I know if I love the foreplay. I get into that. I get it. It's all make it about the woman and all that stuff like that. I know what I'm doing, but all I'm saying is, as far as it goes into the characters and role playing,
I know some chicks
haven't gotten into that type of stuff like that.
But I know some chicks like, are you more the bed guy, the couch guy, or a lot of girls are like
the everywhere guy.
Oh, you're the everywhere. Yeah. Fuck you.
I don't give a fuck.
Fuck you in the shower. Fuck you.
I like to be comfortable at home. I like to be, so I can do whatever I want to do.
Well, no, like
you know what I'm saying, to be comfortable. I'm not like in the car and all that.
When you were, that's what I was gonna say. When you were younger and you didn't have a lot of places to go, you fucked in the car, right?
Yeah,
and
it's a little different.
I'm not. If someone says let's fuck in the car now, I'd probably like, bitch. I'm
like, I'm like, did you vaccinate your car? Or did you clean this shit?
No.
What the fuck?
What I'm saying is, when you have sex in a car, it's very uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like
I don't look. I'm weird. Maybe it's weird. I'm like, I've had girls tell me, "Oh, let's come on, let's have sex right now," and we're in the car in the back seat or in the front seat. Whatever. I'm like, no, I'm good. Like what? And they look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, I don't want to. Like I don't want to. I just want to be comfortable. I want to be able to flip you around.
Yeah.
Toss you that way. Lay this way. Have my leg going that way. Like we're playing Twister on the bed. I want to be comfortable so I can do exactly what I want to do. So I don't know. And I was like, I don't know if you don't like that, I'm sorry, but that's not. I'm not going to do nothing here.
You know, I got to be honest.
And I was just too paranoid of somebody coming up to the car. Like, what the fuck? That's crazy. I'm wild, but I'm a wild in another way.
No. Some girls like that.
I don't like that shit.
Some women and some men like that thought of getting caught or
right. That excitement and shit. Right.
So there you go.
I'll excite you already. I mean, I'll give you a slap if you like it rough. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'll crack the window and tell you, hey, I think somebody's after me. I don't know, but I don't like do no shit, no cars or no. You know what I mean? Movie theaters and stuff like that. Like, I'm not, you know, especially now I'm not 15, so it's just crazy. But you can go to jail for a lot of stuff now, but
right.
Yeah, them days are gone, man. Them days are gone, but yeah.
All right, so a gun recovered. New details emerging apparent on this road rage killing his 6-year-old.
Oh man.
Yeah, these people look like weirdos, man.
Yeah, that's so horrible, man.
Yeah.
That kid was so freaking adorable, man. Oh my god. Oh, that was a rough one. And before you get into the story, there was I believe we're both friends with her, and I don't want to say no names, but she shared something that happened with a friend of hers. Her son's friend, high school friend, was killed. Like she was a female, young female, 16 or 17, and she got killed in a road rage incident, or really bad drunk driving car accident or something like that a couple of days ago. So I just seen that, and she was just talking about, you know, road raging and just all that stuff that goes into one big knot, man. But man, the story is just, oh my god, I hate to see stuff like this, man, with any kids and stuff. I really hate it, but I know we need to talk about it because it happens a lot. So
right,
go ahead. If you're gonna play the video, go ahead.
Yesterday, the California Highway Patrol announced the arrest of 2 suspects, one in connection with the killing of 6-year-old Aiden Anthony Leos. There are few words to describe the feeling produced by the despicable actions of that day. The murder took place approximately 2 miles northeast of where we stand today on State Route 55. It goes without saying, no parent should be made to suffer the pain and loss Joanna, Joey, Alexis, and the rest of Aiden's extended family experienced that day. Both suspects, a male and female, are residents of Costa Mesa. We have recovered what we believe are the weapon and automobile used in the crime.
But why so much interest in this little boy? And I think I know the answer. It's because it could have happened to any one of us. We all drive the freeways of Southern California. We've all gotten upset at other motorists. Other motorists have been upset at us. I've thrown some gestures about myself. But it's never come to a situation of violence, and certainly not in my realm or your realm, to the loss of a life. But I will say in general that when you shoot at an occupied vehicle with a gun, that's an inherently dangerous act. And you know when you're going down a freeway or a toll road at 75 to 80 miles an hour, that when you put a a bullet into somebody's car, that's an inherently dangerous act that could result in a person crashing or being hit by a bullet and the like. And it's not just philosophical or theoretical. It's practical because it actually happened.
Wow.
Oh, that's just sad. That,
man, I mean, you know what? There was that just happened less than a month ago over here.
Yeah.
It was like by the Lodge Freeway. Somebody got killed. And then it happened prior to that. That shit happens a lot.
Right.
And I'm like, you know, when I don't watch news like that, but when I watch it, I do sit back and I think for a minute and I'm just like, what can somebody be thinking, man, to have a gun and just like, what are they? I mean, are they drinking at home and then they're like, okay, I'm gonna go out and do this, or they go to the store and then they go back home and get their gun and go back up on the bridge or wherever they're posting at, like a fucking pigeon, and just like, what are their thoughts? Like, what are they? I don't know if that's weird or not, but I just try to think about it, like, what are they thinking about when they do these things? And they're just you kill somebody you don't even know, man. It's like, wow, I don't understand. And once again, it goes back to the mentality and the just obviously something mentally is wrong with people that do things like this. But
right,
I really don't know what else to say no more. Like, you know, and I'll share this, and I really it's kind of hard to share because it's horrible. I was a bad kid. I did a lot of bad things and stuff like that. And there was times that me and a friend, he lived right off the service drive over here, right off of Lafayette over here in Southwest Detroit, right off the 75 freeway.
Right.
And like literally you can walk out his backyard and we could walk to the overpass.
Okay.
Over the bridge, over 75, which led from West Lafayette to 4th Street, and which leads to downtown, whatever. Just right. And we were young. I mean, we were like 10 years old, 11 years old, and we would go by the bridge and we would throw little rocks, and think we're doing some cool shit and throw little rocks, and then it was like, okay, we're picking up bigger rocks, and we're picking up half bricks and throwing them and stuff like that, and we never like did nothing that we were like do something. We're like, oh my god, look, we shattered that window or nothing. We actually seen it, but we would do stuff like that, and I think about stuff like that. And I'm like, golly, what was we doing? God, like we were so bad. Like, we were trying to kill people.
Damn,
we were trying to, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure, and I mean, we was kids. We were just doing dumbass shit. And man, I think about stuff like that, and I'm like, oh my god, thank God I never, see nothing on the news or nothing like that. And I told a story about how I was with a friend and we were driving, and I let, I was eating a bag of Cheetos. I let one little Cheeto go out the window, and it hit a motorcycle driver in the helmet, in the face shield of his helmet.
Oh,
you know what I mean? We talked about that, and I, like you, like, damn, you think I would learn my lesson? I'm over here throwing Cheetos out the window and shit, wasting product. But it's just, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. And those are things, like I said, look, I hey, everybody done some crazy shit when they were kids, man. But you can label me, send all the hate mail to at Dreek Swift. No, I'm just playing. But it's just, it's horrible to do something like that, for things like that to happen, man. It's like you have no control. Like, people are taking your life on the freeway. You can't even drive on the freeway. You got to be scared driving 80, 75 to 90 miles an hour on the freeway. You got to be scared for your life, really?
Right.
Damn. So, I mean, like, I don't know what else to say about that, but I'm glad they caught them. God bless that child. He was so adorable, man, and the family, and it's just so sad, man. It's just one of many others. So,
right,
yeah.
So, Roger, let's jump over to tennis. Roger what is it, Federer?
Federer, yeah.
Withdraws from French Open for knee concerns.
Right. I didn't see that story, but I looked it up a little bit.
Roger, I don't watch tennis. Withdraw from the French Open on Sunday, citing knee concerns after narrowly winning a third round match that lasted 3.5 hours. Wow.
That's because that's how good they are. That's why. I love watching. I watched Serena Williams about 7 years ago, and she had a match, and I can't remember who she was playing, but it was like I was so into it, man. I would never was into a tennis match like that, and I had that was when I had DVR, and I told my wife, I was like, hold on, I was trying to get her. I was like, come watch this with me, please. Like I needed somebody to watch it with me to share the excitement, but
well, I guess he suffered knee. I mean, he went through 2 knee surgeries.
Right.
He turned 40 on August 8th, so I guess he was just, concerned about his knee.
Catching up with him. Catching up with them.
So he said, "Fuck it, I'm done."
Hey, man, we just watched, and I know we'll get into it later, talking about Mike Tyson, the guys that everybody wants them to be done. Some fans don't want them to be done because they're fans and they don't care that they have a family, or they don't care that they're about their livelihood. They just want to see them break down and just die on a court or in the ring or on a baseball field or whatever for their entertainment. And it sickens me. But
sickens you.
But we'll talk about that later.
All right, so we'll jump over.
I'll try to digress.
We'll jump over to the playoffs. This is a quick show. So the playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs. Right now, Vegas Knights, they lead that series 3-2 over Colorado. The winner faced Montreal in the Western Conference Finals. So only a couple more rounds. And then right now, the Tampa moved on. They beat the Hurricane, and right now, New York Islanders lead that series 3-2.
Right, and they're up 4-1 right now in the second. At the end of the second,
and the Islanders.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing the Islanders actually beat Lightning and going on to face Montreal, but I definitely was pulling for Boston.
Right. That's who I thought too.
But I don't want to see Montreal win a fucking, what is it, be their 30th cup. Let's see. Let's just let's see that. How many do they?
You know what? I almost kind of wanted to go back to Canada, the cup go back to Canada, just so maybe, I don't know, maybe it'll wake the Red Wings up or somebody, American team, and we'll take it back from them. I don't know.
How many have? How many cups?
Yeah, so Colorado's playing Vegas Knights. That's gonna be
so they got 20.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
24 cups
for sure.
I don't think they need another cup. Let's see the Yankees. What are the
who's got those cups?
They got 24 cups.
Who's that?
Montreal.
Okay, wow.
24 cups.
Oh man.
And then you got Toronto. I think Toronto's got 13 or 14, and the Red Wings got 11.
Right.
But how many championships do the Yankees have? 27?
28.
So these are the teams.
Right. Cream of the crop.
That you don't want to see win anymore. I think Montreal has cups in the 1800s. I mean, fuck. They've been winning since the 19th century. But there's hockey. If you haven't watched any playoff hockey, you're missing out, man. There's some great games.
It is really good, and I lost my subscription, so I was trying to listen to last time a Canadian team won Stanley Cup was in 1992.
1992, yeah.
And that was it the Canadians, right?
I think so.
Yeah. 1992-93 season. So, yeah, damn. Wow. I would like to see who was on that team because I can't remember. Oh my God. The Red Wings were so bad. Tigers were so bad.
The 90s
were so bad.
they were actually in the playoffs. They just couldn't get over that hump.
Right. That, you know what? Actually, you're right. Those were the Tim Chevrolet days. So
yeah,
we would make the playoffs, but just
yeah. So let's move on to the NBA. If you can get the scores up, so Utah beats the. This is old because the series is tied.
They won yesterday. I know that Utah.
Yeah. So it's tied 1-1. The Phoenix Suns lead Denver. They play them tonight, so they're up 1-0. But the Utah Clippers series, that's tied 1-1.
So did you watch that game?
Which one? Game? The Suns?
Yeah. What did you? I mean, like, did you get? What did you take from that? Did you feel like that the Suns, like, when you? I guess what I'm asking is when do you think this series will be over, and who do you like in the series?
The Suns.
What did you take from that series?
Good. I think Suns are a great team. I think Utah might pull it out. Or I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Denver. Sorry.
Okay. Wow, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they got.
But I mean, like, is it wider, like, from their side? Like, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. I haven't followed Denver. I haven't followed Denver. You know, it's been hard to follow West Coast teams for a long time, and I'm really trying to dive back into my homework. But are they just? I know they're bigger in size, as far as, you know. At least it seems like it. So
I was kind of surprised in that first game.
Right.
Okay.
But who stood out to you for Denver? If anybody did, if you can name somebody that stood out to you, because I'm just trying to, like, you know what I mean? Like, who stood out for you for both teams? Who was because
I'll go back. Hold on.
I'm trying to look up. You know, I can't watch the games no more because I lost my I didn't renew my subscription.
You'll be able to watch it on TNT.
I don't. I have the Roku, but I don't know. I was watching so much stuff, man. I was just trying to pay attention to Tigers game,
to the box score,
a number of shit. So they won. I mean, they beat them 122-105. I mean, like, either teams had a problem scoring, but how did Chris Paul look to you?
I would say Jokic. Is that how you pronounce his name? He had 36.
Yeah. Yep.
He was 10 for 23. He scored 22 points. And then you had Michael Porter Jr. I don't think he played a lot.
Okay.
So he played 31 minutes, but I didn't see him too much on the floor. He got A. Gordon. You got one of the Morris brothers.
Jeff Green. Jeff Green is key.
Who?
Jeff Green is very, very key for Denver. I know that much. So, and I see he had 11 rebounds. Jeff Green, power forward for the Denver, I think. But so I just see Chris Paul played 36 minutes. He had 11 assists, 1 turnover. I don't know how many points he had, but
he was killing them. He was killing them in the fourth. Because he was, like, I think he was scoreless going into the fourth.
Right.
So.
And they're probably only gonna, and that's the thing, they're probably only gonna rely on him in the fourth quarter if they're up. Because I mean, he obviously.
I mean, we were talking about it earlier, but I got to be honest with you, man. They need to, they could break a lot of, and I know Denver, I think, is a better 3-point shooting team. I would have to look at that. But they could.
As a super fan of travel, I simply can't stand the NBA.
I think you could beat some of these 3-pointing teams if you play in and then go out, in and out. Just think you can.
Right.
So, I doing the half court, me, it beats these 3-point.
And I see the Nuggets got Austin Rivers, which is that's Doc Rivers' son.
Right. You're gone. I lost you. Your internet. But let me go on to what
Hi, Verizon.
Verizon, these motherfucking ads. I don't know why they're playing.
Bring up him because I just seen that, man.
I lost you, but yeah. So the game cast, the game starts at 6:30. So the game's about to tip off right now.
Right.
So it looks like that Islanders are winning that game 4-1. So
right.
So they got the Suns doing 60-40 match. They're picking the Suns tonight. ESPN. See what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Suns over Denver, man. I really do. I think they got past that clown show, which is the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James. They got, there's so much that goes into those series when you play people like that, play those legends like that, man, and especially when they're just doing the things that he's doing. My God, man. Such a clown show. And you know what? Remember, it used to be like that.
So we're going to be like
that. Go ahead.
LeBron changed. He announces today that he's changing his number from 23 to 6. What's your thoughts on that?
I think he's just looking for a fresh start. He's doing whatever he can do to try to erase whatever it is that bothers him out of his mind and be like, no.
So let me ask you.
I'm the new LeBron, everybody. Look at me.
Let me ask you a low
That's
question.
who he is.
So do you think he should still start, or do you think he needs to come off the bench now at this point?
Oh, God. Oh, man. You'll really, hell no. LeBron James will never come off no bench, man.
Really?
He will never. LeBron James, the day LeBron James comes off the bench is the day he retires.
He'll retire.
Yeah, he'll never come off no bench. No, that's like asking Michael Jordan, and that's no comparison. That's like asking Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant came off the bench for the Charlotte Hornets, but that's a different story. But you'll never ever see that. You'll never see that. The day you see that, but you know what? I never thought.
How many more years do you think he's got?
I think he'll play.
Yeah, starter.
I think him and Tom Brady will retire in the same year.
Wow.
I think that they are going to retire the same year, which is
tomorrow.
You know what? No, you know what? I want to say Tom Brady's going to play 2 more years and be done. But I think something is really, really going to push him into that year. And then I'm looking at LeBron, with this movie coming out and the success, depending on the success of this movie.
You think he stays with the Lakers? Because Pat Riley made a comment.
I think it's going to go off.
Come back to Miami.
I think it's going to be. I think that it's going to depend on the success of this movie that he has coming out. Is how he's going to judge what he's going to do and where he's going to go if he wants to leave the Lakers or not. I really, truly believe that the success of this movie is going to make him question what he wants to do next. Does he want to stay in LA? Does he want to go? I don't think he'll leave. It just depends on what they're going to give him and what they're going to put around him.
Where else could he go?
I mean,
right? That's the last.
I seen the Bucks. I seen the Bucks. I don't see that. That's like. You know what I mean? That everybody looks at the Bucks like a dingy, like a just back of your head name type of team, whatever. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know.
Where else could he go? New York, right? That's it.
You know what? That
right.
I can see him going to New York. I can definitely see Pat Riley giving him a call, or Pat. I'm still stuck in the 80s. I'm sorry. You just said Pat. Yeah, no, I seen about the Heat, but I could still see him going to the. Yeah, so it'll be a primetime team like that, like New York or.
I think he's not going back to the Heat.
Yeah, New York. He's either gonna stay where he's at, New York, or
go play with.
Or go to Brooklyn and start doing some
with KD.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know. He wants to go over there and play pen pals with all 4 of the Brooklyn Nets. If they win, I mean, he could go over there. They all start texting each other, all that funny, friendly stuff and shit. I don't know, man. I don't know. He could end up in Brooklyn.
Let me throw that scenario. So he goes to Brooklyn. You got four guys. I mean,
my God,
that's an unstoppable team, right?
That'll change the game. That'll make all the GMs in the NBA be like, okay, look, okay. That'll make every GM in the NBA be like, okay, listen, they'll start firing scouts and hiring new scouts and just like, hold on, like we got to get this shit together because, you know what I mean, like, and that's what those are the type of things you have to deal with when that first happened back then, and it's like. But you know what I always think about.
Well, no, you had when the Pistons won in 04.
And that's what I was about to say. Go ahead.
You had the glove.
Yes.
You had the mailman.
Oh, right. Okay.
Shaq. You had Kobe, and they couldn't beat the Pistons.
Right.
So they've tried that, right?
Right.
You know, people were shocked that the Pistons won.
Well, I was thinking
nobody beating these all-stars, right?
I was thinking about it on our side, from our perspective. Nobody looked at our team as like these great players, but the next year, the starting five in the All-Star game were Pistons.
They're Pistons.
So it's like, yeah, okay, so you got Ben Wallace as a Hall of Famer. Rasheed Wallace is going to be a Hall of Famer sooner or later. Chauncey Billups, I think, is a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Rip. It might take him a while to get in there, like kind of like Alan Trammell, Lou Whitaker, and then the buck stops there. But
I'm just saying you still had Tayshaun Prince, so I'm saying
he's not. I'm okay with he's not a Hall of Famer. He's not, but he will always definitely be remembered, for the block and all that. But I don't. Like we talked about off air, man, everything has changed. The game has changed so much. It's so, like, I'm learning. They're teaching me when I watch these games, and it's just everything is so fast. I remember watching
nobody's
hockey.
playing.
I remember watching hockey.
Nobody's playing.
And the speed of watching hockey and basketball back in the 90s and the speed of or early 2000s, and the speed was the same. Like you know what I mean? It was like hockey is like basketball turning to hockey and vice versa. It's like
nobody's playing.
It's so crazy. It's like there's no defense. There's no you know what I mean? Like you don't need that number one defensive player like a Thomas Holmstrom or Nicholas Lindstrom.
I want to see a grind out game, and there hasn't been. So
right. So I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Philadelphia tie up that series 1-1.
Right.
You got your boy over there, Tobias
Harris.
He's solid over there.
It's good to see all these former Pistons.
Right.
I mean, like they're doing what they're doing, and I know we talked about Blake Griffin, and I guess it's a story, man. It's a story. Yeah, Blake Griffin's dunking on everybody, whatever. Oh my God, where did it come from? I mean, that's what he did.
Well, they destroyed the Milwaukee.
He's like I look at Blake Griffin as like the newer version of Vince Carter, but just a little lighter. Vince Carter did it on a whole different, more level, but like he did it consistently. But Blake Griffin is like
they didn't even have a chance, and Harden's out. With the hamstring. So
and they needed that, and that they needed that. They needed that. And that's what a championship team does. They needed Blake Griffin to step up. So I didn't know that about James Harden.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to get it from somewhere. I mean, you know what I mean. So
right.
I mean, because those three guys. I mean, I don't know. I mean, one of the three are going to be double teamed throughout the game. So it's got to come from somebody else. And Blake Griffin was the man, and that's cool. Whatever. I don't know why everybody's everybody acting like I'm sure he's got another extra 5,000 to 10,000 followers because of his dunks and shit, which that's cool. Whatever. Follow him.
So I guess the big thing before we talk about the Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather faces Logan Paul this Sunday. I watched it. I paid $50 for the last two.
sucker. No, I'm just playing.
It was all right. I was a sucker like everyone else. I wanted to see Mayweather.
We're fans.
I wanted to see Mayweather. I thought it was horrible just because when we watched the one with Mike Tyson,
right?
At least you had a scorecard, right? So there's no scorecard.
Right.
There's no judges. There's nothing. They don't announce nothing. They just said thanks for coming out. Thanks for your money. See you later.
Right. They might as well have it in their backyard.
Yeah, right. We could have it didn't really matter at this point. So I'll play a little bit of the highlights.
Crazy.
Don't want to get banned from
Boring.
Facebook.
What's going on here?
Right. Logan Paul and his brother Jake Paul, they can eat Legos
He's also
on YouTube, but we get blocked for playing.
People still said round 1 Mayweather. He knows more than me, but I like Paul in that round. Round 3, Logan Paul throws the uppercut. Floyd counters the left hook. Take another look. Mayweather got rounds 2 and 3. He also got round 4, and then in round 5, more Mayweather. It was not completely one-sided. It was just Mayweather was a little better, right? 8th and final, Logan Paul going the distance. A little showboating. He didn't win the last round, that's for sure.
Oh my God.
So Mayweather and Logan Paul go the distance, the exhibition. It was fun. And now it's over.
So I got to talk about this. So he's got got the kids, my daughters and all them that were at watching this. And they're like, look, he's got a gold Pokemon card. And I was like, so what does that mean? They're like, that's worth like $1 million. And I was like,
Yep. And that's why he wore it around his neck, because he never stops branding himself. I give him that. And when I seen him do that, I already knew what he was doing. Come here, let's offer candy to a little kid, and not in that manner,
right?
But for real. And I was like, this guy.
And you wanted to see this fight, but it's a spectacle. It's a circus. It's right around WWE kind of thing. They could have had it at WrestleMania, right? They could have, right? It would have been probably would have had a lot more fans.
I don't know I don't even like.
So where's boxing?
Look, man, I love boxing. I don't want to talk too much about it.
So you got Pacquiao. You got Pacquiao fighting Spencer in August. What else? What else is there?
Yeah, I mean Errol Spence, and there's like you all you gotta do is download the ESPN app, and you look at the champions. When you look at all these champions, and you see who has belts, who is worthy of fighting this guy, who is worthy of fighting that guy.
Okay, but when you see this, is boxing dead?
Well, when you look at those champions and everything, and then you go down like a list. Like I've never Googled boxing, the boxing the ranking list,
right,
in the United States, to see who should be fighting who. I never done that, and I'm just thinking about that now, and I'm gonna do that when the show's over, probably. So,
okay. And
my whole point is where does this? Let's look at Mayweather just solidified what I've always said about him. His marketing skills are great. He is a great boxer. He's in there smiling 50% of the fight while he's boxing, man. He's literally smiling, looking at my man face to face, smiling, dancing around. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I know you're good, Mayweather, but you're like that right there. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? When I seen him smiling in the second round, the first round, I was like, what is this fucking shit? This is pure garbage, bro.
Right.
It's garbage. And like I said, I got it from the get-go. I didn't overlook it. He's giving this kid a handout. Why? Yes. Why? Because he has over 500,000 followers, and so does his brother. They eat fucking Legos. for God's sakes. They just did some shit that I don't know what goofy ass brother it was that did something that it was ridiculous, and people now they're getting bad publicity for it.
Right.
It's fucking so silly, man. And you got all these boxers.
You got heavyweight
that come up and done so much shit and everything. Like Mayweather could have fought Keith Thurman. He could fight Pacquiao. He could fight. Come on, man. Like you're disrespecting the game and you're disrespecting the fans. Most importantly. And I don't understand that. And this is why I never liked him. And people used to be like, oh, you're such a boxing fan, but you don't like him. You're just a hater. You're just – no, because he's bad for boxing. He's a fucking joke, man. He's a cherry picker. He's not the first cherry picker boxer to ever pick his fights and shit. But at least all these other cherry picking boxers have fought the best. They never ducked nobody. He has – and I found it really funny that he showed, oh, I fought Cotto. Oh, I fought, he didn't show Sugar Shane Mosley, but he showed De La Hoya, this guy, that guy. Everybody after they're 35 or plus. Oh, I fought him now. He knew what he was doing. That's just my opinion. He waited till these guys were past their prime to fight them. He never fought Eric Morales. He never fought Marco Antonio Barrera. I don't like him. For that reason, he's not the greatest ever. He's one of the best, but he's not the greatest in my eyes. And he's a fucking joke to boxing, other than the fact he's putting out Gervonta Davis, who is going to be one of the greatest boxers if he can keep his head on straight and not go down the road that like Mike Tyson did or anything like that. But Gervonta Davis is the chosen one.
Right.
He's under Floyd Mayweather, TMT Promotions. This kid has got it, man. And I hope, and I thought the same thing about Adrian Broner. I thought the same thing about Adrian Broner, but he could not keep his head on straight and focus and, you know what I mean, like dedicate himself to boxing. And that I'll never take away from Mayweather. He is, you know what I mean? Like that's his life. So I never disrespect Mayweather in any way, shape, or form when it comes to that, because I know he loves the sport of boxing. I know he does, because nobody trains harder than him. But I just don't like his personality when it comes to boxing and the way he makes it look, man, and the things he does. I know it's a different world now, but I just don't like it.
There it is. Mayweather just said,
You have a very big mouth, sir.
That's what Mayweather just said.
Yes, I do. And I wish I had made as money. I wish I made as much money as you do for running my mouth like that. But
all right, so heavyweight, you got Anthony Joshua, WBO, IBF,
right?
WBA, Tyson Fury, WBC.
Oh yeah.
Cruiserweight, Lawrence, somebody, don't even know who this fucking person is.
I didn't see that.
Arson, somebody, and something to Google somebody. So nobody paid attention to the cruiserweights. You got the light heavyweight Joe Smith Jr., which we know. Arthur Benner, he must be another Russian. Dimitri, another Russian, and then Arthur owns the WBC. And then this is the focus, right? Canelo, WBO, WBA, WBC. And then they got Kelvin Plant. It's a IBF. So that needs to happen. Right. And then you got middleweight. You got Triple G. That he has the IBF. Right. Dimitri and some more Russians. But some of these guys I don't even know. You got Tyson Crawford, Earl Spence, and a welterweight. And see, so why
that's huge right there, though.
So why is Earl Spence not firing Terrence Crawford? Why is this not happening? Why is this?
You're asking a question to everybody.
I want to know.
Asking for the last 2 years.
Why is this not happening?
Because somebody's scared to fight somebody, and they don't want to put that L. They don't want to get that L. And I'm going off of a friend.
Yeah, but if I'm a boxing fan, this is what I want.
Off of a friend, right?
I don't want.
I hear you.
Earl Spence.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to see someone that's just
Right.
an old man fight a younger guy.
Right.
Let's get the fights that we want to see, right? Terrence Crawford fight Earl Spence.
That fight right there is that fight could put boxing back on the map in a big way. That could be 2 or 3 fights right there. It really could. Maybe just 2 because they're such hard hitters and oh man, that's like
Let me ask you a dumb question.
I want to say that's like Felix Trinidad fighting Pernell Whitaker, man.
Okay, but listen. So let's say Pacquiao gets into the ring. He whips Earl Spencer's ass. Now what? Now fucking what?
Now you're gonna have Floyd Mayweather come out and be like, "Oh, I want some of that," and I hate that shit.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
You got like my boy. I'm still a fan of Keith Thurman. He made a video talking about Mayweather and talking shit because you know why he wants. Yeah. I don't know. After the Spence and Pacquiao fight, I truly feel that's when things are gonna take off. I mean, you got so many fighters. You know, I hate when I watch like Stephen A. Smith and these guys. Everybody talk about boxing, you know, this and that. I know, I understand what it's come to. I get it. And you are gonna have like these. It's turning into like, look, man. You know, we're wrestling fans. Look, maybe Vince McMahon knew something. Like they always talk about this story. Vince McMahon, they asked him like, he always tells this story. He got a call from Ted Turner, owner of TNT and every other station in the world, whatever, and billionaire Ted, as they call him. And he said, hey, Vince, I just want to let you know I'm in the wrestling business. And he said, that's good, Ted. I'm in the entertainment business. So, like, he's always known this about turning wrestling into a sports entertainment, to a franchise, to a like I said, they're a stock-owned company, man. Like, this is what it is nowadays. And you're going to see, this is what certain kids and certain younger people want to see and shit. They want to see this goofiness and stuff like that. But I listened to a podcast yesterday, and it was a 14-year-old. They called in, and he was talking about bringing in somebody, just talking about the way, like they asked him, who do you want to see? Do you want to see a Jake Paul? And he was talking about wrestling, professional wrestling, and he was as a 14-year-old kid. He said, "Listen, I don't." He goes, when you bring in AEW, brings in a Shaq. That's that it factor. You're like, oh my God, Shaq's in wrestling. He's on AEW. I gotta watch this. WWE, when they do that shit, they brought in Jake Paul about a month ago when he was on Fire, YouTube star or whatever. It was so goofy and so cringy and so just cheesy, man. That's for me speaking, and the 14-year-old said the same thing. Right. It's just so cringy. It's not believable. It's so like, he goes, I know I'm 14, I'm a kid, but I don't like that. They're not putting out stuff for nobody in my gender, like for that, you know what I mean, for that age range, and is what I'm saying. So some people like this, some people don't, man. And everybody, and it makes it so easy for people to say boxing is dead, boxing is this, boxing is that. But I don't think boxing is dead, man. It's just the booking. People, they're just not booking things the way they used to be, and everybody's out for their own. I don't know. I mean, obviously it's changed, but I don't know. Maybe it's just something that I don't want to own up to or whatever, because I'm such a fan of boxing. But it was definitely a joke. I never want to watch nothing like that again. I'll never watch another boxing fight unless it's more than 10 or more rounds. Right. So I just thought it was an embarrassment, man, for Mayweather, a guy like that of his caliber, to be doing something like this. And like I said, he's either doing this as a handout, taking his kid by his hand, or he's using him. But he don't even need to use him. That's the thing. That's the mind-blowing thing about the whole situation. He don't need to do this. He never even had to contact the Paul brothers. He would have been fine. So I don't get it. I don't get what he's, you know what I mean? Why he picked and he chose to come out and show his face with like this. And it's just like I said, once again, it proves why he's just he's a fucking joke when it comes to be known as the GOAT in boxing and shit. Right. When you're doing shit like this, it's a fucking joke. It's so disrespectful to something that made him a millionaire. And I don't understand why he would stoop this low to disrespect a craft that he dedicated his life to. It's mind-blowing to me, and I can't answer that because I'm not him and I'm not a boxer, so I'm just a fan. But I don't care about him. I care about Mike Tyson more than I will ever care about Mayweather's entire career. So
I had to delete some things off Facebook because for whatever reason they blocked. They said we played something, but I didn't. Nothing was belonged to NBCU. I don't know. I know
Universal.
Yeah, I don't know what we played. I didn't play anything. NBCU, UU. They're all over it. They block everything.
Oh yeah.
They block everything. I don't know what they blocked.
They're buying everything right now, man. NBC Universal. You can't fuck with them or Disney right now, man. You know.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Tyson knockout. So it's 2 parts. You can watch it on Hulu. I'll play the trailer. I mean, it is the trailer, so it is official. I don't
complicated individual.
He looked like he could kill somebody.
Mike Tyson was called the baddest man on the planet because he was the baddest man on the planet.
I was terrified by that brother.
He was a money-making machine.
I never knew what Tyson I was going to get.
This was the most recognizable face on the planet, more than the Pope, more than Queen Elizabeth, more than the President.
There were 3 black men who ruled the world during this time. It was Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, and it was Mike Tyson. And everybody wanted to be Mike. The only question was, which Mike do you want to be?
When you think about Mike Tyson in the ring, he was unbeatable. But outside the ring,
The only person that defeated him was him. I think Mike Tyson's love-hate relationship with his public is the perfect American tragedy.
Robin Givens,
He really was in love with her.
So I won't play too much of it. So what'd you think?
Whew, man. I don't even know where to start, man. I'm gonna try to I was thinking about this all day. Like, how am I gonna you know what I mean? Talk about what I've seen and everything, and so I'll keep it simple. And I started off with a quick story, and I think I told the story before on one of the episodes, but I seen his fights when I was like 7, 8 years, 9 years old. So I remember seeing him about 7, 8 years old. Seeing, because my father and my brother-in-law, they always ordered the fights.
Right.
And obviously we were right there in front of the TV that was sitting on the floor, made out of wood. But but the first fight that I've ever seen, obviously was the one, the Buster Douglas fight that truly woke me up to boxing. And I was at my sister's house. They ordered a fight, and it was just crazy. I never seen so much excitement, man, and it was just crazy. And grew up playing he was everywhere, like they said in the documentary. He was. There was only you were a superstar if you got called by one name. You had a single name: Tyson, Madonna, Jordan, I said, and stuff like that. So. Yeah, and they were right. Back then, it was about Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson. I don't know about Michael Jordan, not from where I stood from, but I get the point and stuff like that. Those were the biggest names on the planet at the time. But I don't know, man. He just to me, and it's because of the Mike Tyson's punch out and his just how big he was, how big of a name he was. So that's really where it started for me. Like I said, I watched these fights as a kid, not paying that much attention. Then I get a Nintendo, and I'm like, oh my God, Mike Tyson's Punch Out. So I'm playing that, and then I'm watching them as after that. So like when you put it all together, it's like there was like Superman, and then it was like okay, like Michael Jackson. I love music, love Michael Jackson, and then it was like Mike Tyson, man.
Right.
Like I loved. It was just there was nobody bigger than that. You know what I mean? That I try to think about it. Like who did I like in a year span? Who could I not wait to see? What could I not wait to watch event wise?
Right.
And it was like WrestleMania, WrestleMania, and my father always brought me tapes. Right. My dad would go to the whatever bars he hung out at, and he would bring me VHSs. That's the first time I got to see like SummerSlam 1990 when Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan. And
right.
Like, he would bring me boxing tapes. He would bring me wrestling tapes, and I was like, "What the hell?" So, but yeah, once he lost, he got upset and all that and everything with the Nintendo, and he was just everywhere, man. He was everywhere. Me as a kid growing up, I'm just trying to get my perspective as a kid growing up and what I thought about him. I thought he was just like he was just like he was like, like a hero, man. It was crazy. And then when I got a little teenage, about 14, 15, I started really hearing all this. Like I remember the Barbara Walters interview. I remember my mother. I'm a mama's boy. I remember being around my mom. I remember her watching that interview.
Barbara Walters.
And I asked her if she remembers it. She goes, "Oh, of course. How could I forget that?"
So I guess they said, and I remember. So you go on to Barbara Walters. If you, let's say you did something stupid in the public, and if you were a celebrity, you went on Barbara Walters, and you cried on the couch, and then all is forgiven. So he went on this to redeem his image because he was getting all the positive publicity, then he was getting the negative publicity, and then you hear about him hitting Robin Givens. Right. So Barbara Walters.
Well, he didn't get that negative publicity until he got a woman, until she came into the life. Right. Everything was good then because he had nobody. And when he finally found somebody, which was Customato, and then everybody that was in his life for a reason, just for a little bit, for him to feel good about himself, got taken away from him. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, I can't imagine. Like, I've had.
Do you think King going to the funeral where his co-manager when he passed, because I think it was a couple of years ago before that, he lost Customato. He loses Teddy Allen to.
Well, he lost Jimmy, the other trainer that took over for him, that was taking care of like his financials and stuff like that too.
He loses him.
Right.
And then he loses his co-manager, and then King approaches him, and it seems like his career went downhill after that.
You know what? And you know what's crazy?
I mean, he pulls.
I want to see something on
Eddie Atlas.
I want to see something on Don King. I mean, please, somebody tell me something about that guy, because there's so much shit involved with that guy that every time they showed him in a scene, I was like, there was like a question. I had a question in my head. Well, damn, like he was. I you know what's funny? I heard more about Don. I remember hearing more about Don King stealing from Mike Tyson as a kid. Before I'm a teenager, 11, 12, more than I heard about Mike Tyson being great and shit like that. And I used to be like, damn, that's why I was so infatuated with that shit.
Robin Givens mentioned it. She said, Mike Tyson's supposed to have 70 million, but he only has 50.
Right.
So who was stealing his money? Was it Don King? Who was it?
No, well, I don't think he was with Don King at that time yet.
Yeah, he was.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because they didn't talk about him until after the fact that it was okay.
Yeah, when he was with Robin Givens, he was with Don King.
You know what? It could have been her mother, and Don King. I don't know. You know what I mean?
You heard in the
back
news
then everything was so different.
You heard in the news that she was using him and the mother
really manipulative. You can tell
they were manipulating him and trying to manipulate who he fought. Like you're a boxing wife.
Now don't get me wrong. I look. He said it. They were both putting their hands on each other. She was emotionally abusive. I was abusive. They were both at fault. I'm not trying to stick up for one or the other. I'm just,
So
when she did that, like I asked my mother about that. What did she feel about that? That was really, like, I remember seeing that. I'm sorry to cut you off, but like the interview was really crazy to see. I haven't watched it since then. And to see them, I pictured myself. I tried to put myself as much as I could in that position, man. I just was like with my wife and walking through that mansion, that $1 million mansion, $100 million mansion. They're hugging, they're kissing each other. They're in lollipop land, bro. And then they sit back down for the second part. And then she asked that question and she's like, torture. The first word that comes out of her mouth is torture. I'm like, wow. Like I paused it and I Googled it and I was reading it. I don't know why I like to do that sometimes with documentaries or bios, but I do that. And I read because I want to kind of like match things up. So I read all that word for word, man. I was like, that shit is crazy, man. In 1988, wow. And I remember watching her on like head of the class and be like, gosh, she was so pretty, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but she was so, and it's crazy because they didn't interview her mother. She didn't want to be interviewed after the fact. You know what I mean? Right? And they didn't interview her mother, but it's like, hold on. They didn't dive back into her mother. So her and her mother were doing something, man. I truly believe that. Not taking nothing away that he put his hands on her.
Right.
I don't like that. Me and you both have 2 daughters. For the record, we're not condoning nothing like that. Any domestic violence, nothing like that. You know what I mean? I have close family and friends that dealt with that. And
what I'm saying is they should have interviewed Robin Gibbons. I think they should have.
Yeah.
They should have. It's been 20, 40 years.
It should have been an investigation on both sides.
For 30 years, like interview her.
It should have been an investigation on both sides.
Yeah. So his career goes downhill after 88, 89, right?
So
Gets in a car accident. He goes to jail for rape. He's serving whatever it is, 2 or 3 years. Holyfield wins a belt. George Foreman wins a belt.
Right.
Now he wants to fight Holyfield. He loses the first fight, but he gets aggravated with him in the second fight because he's headbutting him again because he headbutted him the first fight.
Right.
And then he bites his ear. Just a spiral of things.
Right.
He loses in Japan. Actually, before he goes to Japan to jail, he loses to Buster Douglas.
Right, does 3 years, comes out.
Yeah, just on and on and on. And his life just spirals out of control. I think when Castamano had him, he was in check. Like, they like when he had to be in bed by 9 p.m.
Yeah, he had a routine, man. I mean, he had nothing, man. The guy came from nothing, man.
Right, but I'm saying, like, once that happened, his life went out of control, partying, drugs, whatever the case may be.
Right.
He like they said, Mike Tyson, there was 2 Mike Tysons. There was one that would just kill himself, and there was one that was a boxer. And he was molested as a child.
Right.
His mother was drunk. He doesn't know who his father was.
He's done a lot of shit.
He did. Just so much crazy stuff. Right. I thought it was a great interview. I always thought that he would never lose, but once he did lose, because it was more, he didn't have those he didn't have that foundation to keep him on the
He
straight.
lost to McNeely. I mean, when they showed that footage, man, I was like, I was legitimately sad for him when I watched his last like 4 or 5 fights.
He just said,
I was sad for him, man.
I don't have
fan.
Right.
I didn't want to see Mike Tyson get. You know what I mean? I like I said, he was a hero. It was for me, like for real. For me, it was like Hulk Hogan. I loved Michael Jackson, and then it was Mike Tyson and shit. Like,
but yeah, that's
there
like
was nothing bigger than that.
That's like Hulk Hogan in the ring just giving up. Yeah, he just gave up. And I think he gave up on boxing. Because he was broken. He was broken.
Really, really sad, man.
Yeah, he was broken.
That second part really got to me big time. Yeah. And
so I think if he didn't lose those characters of Castamano, if he didn't lose Teddy Atlas, he would have been a different Tyson.
And it happened so fast.
Yeah.
It happened so fast. A year before he was about to finally be, fight for the championship. Oh man, I cried during that time. Like, and I seen the Undisputed Truth. I watched other things, and I seen that, and I knew about him and Teddy Atlas. That put tears in my eyes too, because I remember watching that on ESPN when that happened, or at least seeing it on ESPN when they made up. I remember that. That was about 15 years. It was early 2000s or something like that. But I remember that. And him and Teddy Atlas, and a lot of people tell me Teddy Atlas ain't shit. Freddie Roach ain't. I'm like, man, these guys are like, there's not no trainers. Just like in professional wrestling, there's not these managers that just were stars and they stood out and they made such a big impact in the business. You don't have those trainers like that no more. And that's why, everything is so hard to trust in the business of boxing, that everybody has their family, like Danny Garcia or Chavez or Camacho's family. Like, everybody keeps it in the family, or Broner, Mayweather. I mean, because it's so hard to trust. And that's what boxing is. So you got all these families, all these factions that are just, they're picking and choosing when they want to do this and do that, or be a show or sideshow act, and that's why boxing is so bad now, and it's like, or is at its lowest peak. But man, that documentary was really great. It took me back. Like I said, I'm so nostalgic, and I love watching old stuff like that. And it just takes me back to, like I said, remember watching the fights with family and just like, man, those moments. And so thankful for him to do this, and he's still doing it to this day, man. And for him to lose his daughter, he lost his daughter.
I was like, wow, I forgot all about it.
I watched that interview on Oprah, and I didn't know that. I watched that shit, and I didn't know that, and I felt
he was living here at the time.
Yeah, Scottsdale, Arizona, and I might have talked to you about it because of that. I might have brought it up to you back then, but I've always, for the last like almost 20 years, I've always felt bad for Mike Tyson, man. I always felt bad for him. That's why I was happy to see him take that walk again. But I was like, I don't want to see him get hurt. Like, I grew up watching him as a kid, man, and he grew up rough, and man, the shit he went through to give us to entertain us and become a legend like he is. Oh my God, man! Like, that's why I said Mike Tyson is it, bro. You'll never see nothing ever like. That's what I always say. You'll never see nothing like this. Every so often, a Brock Lesnar, a Mike Tyson, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like a Hulk Hogan. You don't see that shit, man. You will not. You got to appreciate that shit. Whether you believe he did whatever he did or not, everybody makes mistakes. And you know what? And he says, I always say, like, people ask me, you got to, what happened to your lip? It's busted. What happened to your nose? I got my nose broke twice because I got sucker punched once and jumped the other time. And got my lip busted too for the same reason. Split. Seven stitches down my lip. You know why? I said, why though? Because I always felt like it was karma that came back around to me for some of the shit that I did. And he said that in the documentary. And, And that shit, man, that shit put tears in my eyes because he said, you know, that he could have not been here. And you know what I mean? And maybe, you know, his daughter wouldn't have passed away. And oh man, that was just really, really rough to hear. Because, you know, like I said, we have daughters, and you know, I have a little bit of a falling out with my firstborn. So things like that really touched ground with me big time. And the guy just wanted to be happy. That's what I take from all of this. Mike Tyson just wanted to be happy and live a normal life.
Right.
He loved boxing. He wanted to show Cus D'Amato, who was a father figure, he wanted to show him that he appreciated everything that he was doing for him. And he wanted to show it by winning the championship. And I'm sure he's seen that, man, from above. But man, it's just so rough. And I love Mike Tyson to death, man. I'm always a fan.
It's on Hulu. Check it out. It's a 2-part series. I think it's about 3 to 3 hours. So
right.
I want to give a shout out at this time. We're going to be ending the show. Happy birthday to my brother-in-law, Chris King. He turns 48 today, and my other brother-in-law.
Happy birthday.
And my other brother-in-law, Ruben Torres, turned 58 today. So
happy birthday.
Both on the 9th. So I just wanted to let me see if I can bring him on the show. Hold on.
Happy birthday, guys.
Yeah, happy birthday. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to get their perspective on
hold on.
Mike Tyson.
See if he answers.
Ask him, what was the greatest boxer they ever seen in their life? That's all I want to know.
See if he answers.
He's got it on silent.
Yeah. Hello? Hey, hold on, okay?
What?
Yeah. Hold on real quick. Hold on. trying to conference it in. Hold on.
Pause for the station identification.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hold on. Hey, can you guys hear me? We're live on the show. We want to wish both of you guys happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
148, 158. Yeah, have a beer. Happy birthday.
Salud.
Happy birthday, Chris. Happy birthday, Ruben. We're live on the show. Hopefully you guys are having a drink. Here's a song for you.
Happy birthday to you.
I won't play the rest. You guys take it easy.
That sounds like Marilyn Monroe.
No, it didn't sound like Marilyn Monroe. But thank you.
Happy birthday. Have a blessed
birthday,
day.
guys. Bye.
Bye.
So
that's awesome.
Friday, the Low Key series comes out. And
I know. You know what? You know what's crazy about that?
Wait.
You know what's crazy about that? My daughter, the moment we first seen him, my daughter was like, "Oh my God, I can't stand that guy." I said, and I told her, I was like in the second Avengers movie, I think, or Thor movie, I was like, he's gonna get his own. I was like, he's gonna get his own movie one day. Watch. She was like, "Oh my God, I hope not." So I seen that. I sent it to her, and she was like, "Oh my God." I was like, "I told you."
Friday.
10 years later, 8 years later, but yeah. Do you like his character though?
I love the character.
Do you? Me too, man. I can't wait to watch it.
I know what this place is. The timekeepers have built quite the circus. And I see the clowns are playing their parts to perfection. Big metaphor guy. I love it. Makes you sound super smart. I am smart. I know. Okay.
Please sign to verify this is everything you've ever said.
This is absurd.
Sign this too.
We protect the proper flow of time. You picked up the Tesseract, breaking reality. I want you to help us fix it. Why me? I need your unique Loki perspective.
Do I get a weapon?
Yeah.
You really believe in this Loki variant?
Luckily, he believes in himself enough for the both of us.
It is adorable that you think you could possibly manipulate me. I'm 10 steps ahead of you.
You're not big on trust, are you?
You can trust me.
Loki, I've studied almost every moment of your entire life. You've literally stabbed people in the back like 50 times.
Why never do it again?
So if you don't remember, in Endgame, the last movie that was made with all the superheroes, he creates a new timeline. Because if you remember, when they were trying to steal the Tesseract, he took the Tesseract and disappeared.
Right.
So that's where it picks it up. So
he really didn't die.
Never died, yeah, because he changed. He changed it. Right. So there you go. Hopefully, it's going to be a great.
I tried to tell my daughter he was still alive. She was like, "No, he's not."
Yeah, he's still alive. He changed it.
Right. Damn. Right. He was smart. That's why I liked him. He was so smart, man. He was,
That's going to be a great. It's going to be a great.
Thor was the brains or the bronze, and he was the brains and shit. That's why I liked him.
Yep. So I'm gonna pull this on the screen real quick. So if you guys haven't checked out our new website, you can order merch. You can order the 3D hat that I'm wearing. It's the word on the street. It's $35, and then I will ship it to you, and you will get it in a couple days. I'm also working on some other products that you guys will see in the store soon. You got the hoodies, but nobody wants a hoodie yet. In 90-degree weather or
right.
But definitely, if you guys haven't checked out the website, you have the podcast page, the calendar page. The calendar, actually, you can see if it loads.
Yeah, and we'll be, like you said, we'll be getting some different shirts up there. I definitely want to get the shirt, like I said, in memory of my father.
So you got the blog page.
Eventually.
Alex. I blogged something, Alex, and you can advertise with the show. Okay. You can contact the calendar page. Should be working. I don't know why it was working on my phone, but basically what it does, if you click on it, it should show you all the people that are on the show. I don't know. I would have to load it on my phone. What it does is it shows everybody that's on the show that month. So I know that feature worked because I seen it. So
yeah.
Going on here. I don't know if it's the internet, but let me see. Oh, so it's not working right now. It's not even working, so I might have to go to it. Still tweaking the page. So just check it out. It is wordonthestreetpod.com. Wordonthestreet.pod.com. So when you get a chance, definitely go check it out. Just wanted to bring that to our attention. You can also watch the show back, or you can download all the shows. You can subscribe and everything. So you could do that on that page. So just wanted to give you a heads up. Just wanted to bring it to your attention. You can subscribe right to all the different. I'll bring this back up because you can actually see it. I know you're constantly saying about it, and it's very important. So you can, where is it? So you can subscribe here. You can listen to it on all your different platforms, and you can hit subscribe. It'll take you right to Apple, or you can listen to it right here. All you do is click that, take you to Apple, and then you can subscribe. Tyson, okay. Took it off the page for whatever reason, but there it is. Lastly, Saturday coming up, and I'll put her page on there. Alicia, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I have to ask her.
I want to say.
Oh, where'd you go? Where'd you go, Alex? Yeah, there you go. I lost you. Where'd you go?
Yeah, I know.
How do you say her last name?
I want to say Alosi, but I'll ask her. I don't want to get it wrong. So if you're watching, I'm sorry, Alicia.
Yeah, we're not a pronounced Alicia. Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah, that's my niece's name. So beautiful name.
Yeah,
but
I think it's Alicia.
Yeah, I've never asked her that. But
It'll be on Saturday. Tori will be back on Saturday. She's not feeling good, so she's a little under the weather, and it's not COVID. She actually got it. She can want to talk about it, but I'll say it. She got her vaccine shot yesterday, and she's feeling it. She said she's sore, her arm hurts, and she just feels like shit. So Tori will be back on Saturday. Alicia will be on. She's going to talk about her team manager's rapper. She can talk about what she's doing. And there you go. You could check her out before the show. You can follow her on Instagram at Alicia Lassi at Instagram, and it looks like she even has a Twitter. Everyday Alicia on Twitter. Right. So check her out. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I don't have anything else, Alex.
Nope, man. That was a great documentary, that's for sure, man. Shout out to Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
That was a really great documentary, man. Took me back. I love that nostalgia stuff, and I know we talked about doing a show down the road,
right?
Taking everybody back in a different way, type of fun way. So hopefully, maybe we'll play some fucking Huey Lewis or some shit like that.
Yeah,
just to get him in the mood. But no, I don't know about that. But no, I don't really have much. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SportsMouth313. Once again, anybody that tuned in today or commented,
sorry, I'm working on trying to get the feed on our page, so Facebook doesn't shut us down. Right. Those motherfuckers. Oh, right. Where you at?
No, so I was gonna say, everybody.
Here you go.
You want to hear something?
Welcome back.
I don't want to play too much.
Welcome back, Cotter. That's before my time.
Yeah,
that's before my time.
I love it.
But no, like I said, just everybody, thank you for tuning in, listening to us, watching us, however you do that on whatever social media platform. And don't forget to.
You know what? They need to bring Periscope back, Twitter's page. Because
Periscope?
Periscope, they don't block anything. They don't give a fuck. Right. They don't give a fuck.
Well, you know what? There's I've been listening to it. I forgot what podcast it was, but forgot what they're on. But you know what? They're dealing with like a lot of like WWE talents. They've been dealing with a lot of shit like that, man. Because they have their own Twitch and Patreon, channels and profiles and stuff, and they're not allowed to have that, so they're getting fined or they gotta close their account out or delete their account because of shit like that. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's one that we can go off of. Another one. I mean, like
YouTube is not too bad. I mean, they'll block something,
right?
But Facebook police those bots. Anything we play, it's fucking violation, you motherfucker. Come on, let it play, man. It's just, what is this? It's not hurting anybody.
Right. I mean, if they're there dissecting that, then they should be able to dissect if it's good or bad. So, I don't know. But, no, for anybody, like I said, appreciate everybody tuning in. Just hit the like, subscribe button, please. Share And thank you for all your comments or however you are tuning in and watching Word on the Street. Appreciate the love and support.
Tori will be back on Saturday because I know all the guys probably tuned out because they didn't see Tori.
That's cool. I'll be back. It's only Wednesday. She'll be back on the weekend, so it's the weekday. They'll be okay.
They'll be okay. You can follow me at Dreek Swift on all platforms. So follow me, and then make sure you wash your hands, wash your ass, wear a mask, and be safe. God bless. I'll play this video.
Yeah, and get better, Tori. I hope you feel better, and see you Saturday.
There you go.
Much love to everyone out there. Stay safe and God bless.
Peace out. See ya.
See you in the funny papers.
Peace out.